Hey everybody, what's up? Joshua here. Well, yeah, I'm just saying that because one of these times it's going to be someone else. So don't say you weren't prepped by it formatically. Um, anyway, it's 1:36 a.m. Thursday night, Friday morning, July 7th/8th, 2022. But you already knew that by looking at the title. You knew the exact time right down to the second. Anyway, it's been a little while. I've been meaning to do one of these things. Um, I just kind of fall asleep every time instead. So we'll see. We'll see if I can get out what I want to say and stay awake this time. So today is a good day. That is because I'm doing really well at work. Those of you that don't know, I currently work for a solar company. I'm not sure I should say the name. I don't know. I don't know the full ramifications of doing so, so I'll err on the safe side and not do so. Um, Things are going really well for work today. I go door to door for a sales company, talking to people and generating leads, setting appointments. That's what I do. So, um, yeah, today I set a new personal record for appointments set. I set 4 appointments today. I know that doesn't really sound like a lot, but in my line of work, especially given the circumstances of where we are and what we're dealing with, that's pretty hard to pull off. A lot of people end up having nothing for the day, or they'll just do one or two. So 4 is a very good day, even for the best of us. But it's a new personal record for me. I've only gotten 3 a few times. I usually get 2. Um, so, and the reason why it's so hard to get 4 appointments out of a whole day of knocking doors is just, like I'm pitching to them. I'm a stranger at their door. I've never seen them before. They've never seen me. And I'm knocking on their door, and you never know what's going on. You never know what they're in the middle of. And I start pitching them. It starts off, "Hi, how you doing?" And then I'm pretty sure I'm not allowed to to give away the full company script on here, so I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, I just have to go from that to, all right, so we got you for tomorrow at 3 o'clock. So it's a pretty big jump. There's a lot of stuff that happens there, so they need that's first of all, my job is in 2 parts. The first thing I have to do is qualify them for our company, for our services, and then set the appointment. So there's a lot of people that are interested but just don't qualify. So when I say 4 appointments set, that means 4 people that I knocked on their door, they answered, they carried on a conversation with me, they cooperated with me through the whole thing, they had time, they were patient, and they were able to qualify. They answered, all the questions in a manner that we can work with, and they had availability, and they gave me their info, and we were able to find a time that works for them, and their home got approved because it's a solar we're dealing with here, so there's a lot of variables there. We actually have a call center that we have to get on with the homeowner so that all 3 of us can talk it out. So sometimes they'll get disqualified on the call center. They'll tell us, "Oh, hey, we're looking at the satellite image here, and your roof is the wrong material, or the pitch is too steep, or it's flat, or there's too many trees around, or whatever," and then we'll lose it that way. So I mainly qualify the homeowner, and then the call center qualifies the home. But there's a lot of variables. A lot of people that I talk to are like, "Oh yeah, this isn't my house. I'm just house sitting," or "My parents own the home and they're gone right now," or something. Or a lot of renters, that's common, or they'll just say, I'm busy, I work from home, I'm in the middle of a meeting right now, and so I got to come back another time. Um, you know, or, there's a few things like, their credit will be bad, or they'll, their electric bill won't be high enough to qualify, or stuff like that, and you can't really know that unless you actually talk to them. So, you know, all of that considered, we knock anywhere from like 40 to 60 doors a day. So, at 40 doors a day, for appointments set is 10%. So that's pretty good, because half of the doors we knock on average are not homes. So or if they are home, they're just ignoring us, but they're not answered. So that's like 1 in 5 of the people that answer the door I ended up setting an appointment for today. So that's a pretty good statistic. But obviously there are still, days that I get 0 or 1. But overall I am getting much better now. I actually just got a raise like 2 weeks ago. I'm getting shout outs, I'm getting like all kinds of good stuff, and I'm coming up on commission now. So I get a base salary plus commission, so I'm getting paid pretty good for that. So I'm moving up in the company, kind of solidifying my spot, because I've only been there about 2 months, less than 2 months actually. So I started May 16th, and it's now July 7th. So yeah, like 7 weeks. So there's guys that have been there 6-9 months. So I gotta earn my keep. I'm definitely off the chopping block now. So. And it's sorry, just my throat got all dry all of a sudden, so I'm just drinking a bunch of water now. But yeah, so the job's pretty simple. Actually, you know what? I take that back. It's not simple. They tell us to say that. They tell us that it's simple. It's not. I mean, it's clear what we're supposed to do, but now, actually, you know what? No, nothing about it's simple. Just strike that. I was gonna say it's simple, but it's not easy. But it's not simple or easy, because you're dealing with the general public, and that always makes it not simple. you know. I've worked in customer service all my life, but only in food service. Like as a cashier and as a server and stuff. So it's like the customers are coming to me and I'm serving them. That's a much different dynamic than door to door, where I'm going to them, interrupting their lives, whatever they're doing. I'm an unwanted guest, a stranger showing up on their property and trying to convince them to do something. Much different dynamic. And also, instead of $2 cheeseburgers, this is a $50,000 solar system we're talking about. So it's the stakes are a lot. It's a much larger scale. And it's their house. So yeah, there's just a lot. Yeah, I'm not. This is my first job that's something of this magnitude. And then of course you deal with a lot of crazy people, a lot of rude people, unhinged people. People go on political rants and stuff. People threaten to call the cops, like, just because you're there, just because you're in the neighborhood. It's going door to door, just because you knocked on their door. Like, yeah, that's some kind of big crime. Like, I'm not, if you don't want to talk to me, you just don't talk to me. So it's not. But a lot of people are just on edge. So, and then there's a lot of people that just waste my time and like will ask a bunch of questions and be super interested and then end up not qualifying, or like at the end of it all they're like, Yeah, I'm just renting, but that sounds really cool though. And and it's like I try, but so yeah. So it's easy to get kind of discouraged after a while, and especially since it's just so hot. It's so hot, man. I mean, right now it's July, so that's like, the hottest time of the year basically for the whole northern hemisphere. But in Florida, it's way too hot most of the year. But summer is just like, sure, why not? It just cranks it up that extra notch just just for fun at this point, you know. Spring and fall are already like hotter than summer is in most places. So summer here is just, it's just kind of just at this point it's just kind of a shrug. It's just that, whatever, man. Sure, why not? 107 degrees. All right, let's do it. You know, it's like, so I get sunburn out there like after a few minutes. Uh, I start like sweating as soon as I get out of my car. There's no, but I just got to deal with it, you know. Because if you stay in your car, you're not going to set any appointments. You're not going to make any money. So it is what it is. But there's a lot of factors that can be kind of discouraging. So I'm lucky that the team that I work with, my coworkers at the office and stuff, are just such positive people, and it's such a positive work environment. Um, we have a group chat at the office that we're constantly posting, and that's how we post our appointment set and stuff. So, but we're constantly hyping each other up in that and shouting each other out and stuff. So it's just like all throughout the day, it's just this feed of positivity. So that's what keeps us going, really. But yeah. So, and then obviously I get excited every time I set an appointment. That carries me for a little while. I can ride that wave, and then if I get another one like right after, that's just the best. So that's what happened today. Actually, all four of mine were pretty close together. They were all within like an hour or so. So, and then it was like at the end. The last one was my last door. So after that, I was feeling pretty good for the rest of the night, and I still am. So anyway, that was today. I actually should be going to bed soon. I got to get up in like 7 hours for work tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll get another 4 or 5 even. Who knows? Pulling some big numbers now. But yeah, the highest on a day usually is either 4 or 5. Those are like the big numbers. So 4 is like, I mean, 3 is respectable. 3 actually, if you get 3 appointments set in one day, you have the option to just clock out and go home. Call it a 3 and out. But obviously, the idea is to keep going, because then the commissions multiply, and everything you get from that point, you get a lot more money for. So they make it worth your while to stay. But if you don't want to because you're just really not feeling it that day, or you have like other things to do, or something else going on, or whatever, you can, as long as you have 3 appointments set that day, then you can leave. So yeah, so 3 is good. 4 is really good, So today's the first day I cracked 4, and like I said, I did 3 maybe like 3 or 4 times, but I've usually been running like 2, maybe like 1 or 2. But I got 2 like 8 days in a row. So, but yeah, so doing pretty good with that. Um, Pedicabbing, getting back into that tomorrow. This just kind of makes my day a lot longer and my week a lot longer, honestly. So at this point, I mean, pedicabbing isn't really fun. It was kind of interesting at the beginning because, like, it was different. It was got to go downtown and stuff, but now it's just like it's getting old, honestly. Like I don't really like downtown Orlando. It's just kind of repetitive and lackluster, I find. I've never really been a big fan of like nightclubs and bars and stuff, and that's pretty much all that it is in the area that I work in, except for like, the entertainment venues when there is a specific event like at the Amway Center or the Camping World Stadium or whatever. Um, but it's kind of this, the same thing. And the people, the demographic that, you know, go to these kind of places and stuff is like, they're just not my kind of people. They're just like drunk and loud and annoying and just general nuisance and like, they're my responsibility and stuff. So, I don't, that part of it's not really fun. And I know, like, I don't have to get along with them. I'm just giving them a ride, but still, like, they're supposed to pay me. And, people are just, I don't know. I just I don't really like people, especially like the nighttime crowd. Like, in terms of trying to run a business involving them. Not necessarily that I can't socialize with them or whatever. I can get along with anybody. But in terms of a business like that where, I'm just um it's a hustle for me, and they're just sort of, I don't know. I mean, with a lot of people it's fine, and it goes fine. But it's just always that one in however many people per night, a certain percentage that are just going to be troublemakers. And it's just really, I don't like being in that position. I don't like having to be like the parent in the, the dynamic. I don't like that. I'm a free spirit. I want to just live and let live, I want everybody to be able to have a good time and not judge anybody and just, just everybody do our own thing. But that's just kind of hard when I'm, you know, in a business here. I'm trying to make money, and they're just like, it's such an informal setup where, like, I've had people stiff me, just not pay after the ride, and what are you going to do about it? Because they just take off and blend in with the other people. And then, sure, you can go to the police and give them their description and see if they can track them down. But the police are already understaffed and they have bigger fish to fry. But then also, in the amount of time it would take for the police to find them and make them pay and then get the money to you, you could have already done another ride that made more money than that anyway. So, it's just, it's not really worth it. So that's just that's a shame, but that's how it is. It's a very sloppy business. You know, you can quote somebody $50 and they'll only pay you 20 because that's what they think is fair. And what are you gonna do about it? So, but yeah. So not something I see myself doing long term, but I do make pretty good money for the most part doing it, so that's why I'm continuing to do so. But I just, it's I'm due till 3, 4 a.m., and then I gotta get up at like 8 for work, so that part of it's not fun, and it's very physically demanding, and, I gotta deal with all those people, but, other than that, I mean, there's nights when it goes pretty smooth, you know, but just as a scene, the pedicabbing scene is a lot, uh, be very careful with this, but it's not quite what I imagined. I pictured it as more of a surface level kind of thing, more of like an old fashioned kind of thing. But it's like a whole network that has roots and branches in many different areas that I would have never foreseen a connection to. So, um, and yeah, I'm just not really sure how I fit into all that. I'm kind of just expected to because, I'm a pedicabber, so surely I meet these descriptions, and it's just kind of maybe a little more than I bargained for, you know. But I can do it. I've been doing it. I've been doing it since before solar, so it's all right. I'm just not like as all in as a lot of the other guys who do it. But yeah. So that's um what else? Yeah, I've just been feeling kind of abstract lately. 'Cause my life's been pretty relentless. All my time's already spoken for, my whole schedule and all that, so yeah, not really a lot of free time. What else? I've been going to the gym, so that's been pretty good. I just upped my weight last night, so that was cool. I've been practicing guitar. I'm learning more chords. I'm writing more songs. I'm singing more. Considering going to an open mic this upcoming Monday. So, you know, so getting better with that. Um, I'm like on better terms with my family. Not that I was like on bad terms with them or something. It's just, sometimes I would go a long time without talking to them. And now, my mother, my father, my brother, my sister, I'm all, we all talk and get along now. Sometimes I'll just surprise them and show up at their house. Sometimes they'll come up and see me. So this past weekend, the 4th of July weekend, I got to spend time with my brother. It was a 4-day weekend, so I got to spend time with my brother for 2 days, and then my mother the other 2 days. So, that was cool. It was fun to do a bunch of fun stuff. Got to talk to my dad for like 4 hours on the phone a couple days ago for the first time in like 3 weeks. So, so family's doing better. Been considering getting into the dating scene. That's really probably I haven't really done any of that kind of stuff yet. But I'm thinking maybe it's probably about time. I just kind of wanted to get some of the other stuff in my life in order, mostly financially. Just trying to save up some money. I'm also looking to move soon. I want to hopefully get my own place, like start building up some equity by like buying like an apartment or something, because right now I'm just renting a room, and that's kind of how it's been like the whole time that I've lived in Orlando so far. Like ever since I moved out of my parents' house, I've just been renting rooms. So I kind of want to take a step up from that. Maybe do like a lease or a lease with option to purchase or, something like that. But I got to save up a little more money first. But I'm getting there. Maybe like another month or two. So that doesn't mean I have to wait to start dating until after I move into the new place. But just as long as I'm on my way and as long as that financial goal is in sight, I feel that's the most important thing. So if it's at the tail end of my saga, living here, and then we kind of make that move together, even or whatever, like that's cool with me. I just want to like be a functional individual before I drag someone else into whatever this is. So I don't want anyone to have to deal with my baggage, you know what I mean? So, and the majority of that is just kind of financial at this point. I mean, money is freedom, really. So the more money that I have, the more freedom I have. My schedule is what it is. I mean, as long as they're local, really, that's kind of the problem in terms of seeing a lot of the people that I want to see is just they don't live around here. So I have to like dedicate an entire day or a weekend or something to seeing them. But if it's someone local, then it's not a big deal. We can just go to each other's houses and stuff, and just you don't really have to think about it. You don't have to like clear out time on the calendar. It's like there's before work, there's after work, there's days off that you know what I mean. So I am busy between my jobs and my hobbies and extracurricular activities and whatnot. But you know, like of course there's time. So yeah, maybe another few weeks on that, 2 or 3 weeks maybe. I just want to get a few more paychecks to just really solidify that upward trend, and then obviously I can't go and blow all that money on dates or gifts or things like that. Just got to be kind of just incorporated into the budget, probably at the expense of something else. But I don't really spend a lot of money on myself to begin with. I don't really like buy myself expensive things or treat myself out places or anything. First of all, I don't really have time to. I just kind of, like I don't really spend a lot of time on things that cost money. I spend most of my time making money or, doing my hobbies and stuff. It doesn't cost me any money to practice guitar or to go to the gym. I mean, yeah, I have my monthly membership, but you know what I mean. Like each individual workout doesn't cost money. And, it doesn't cost me money to write songs or to, talk to my family or, like, or to just chill and watch TV and, whatever. Like that doesn't cost me money. So, yeah, there's really nothing that I do. It's just like the basics like rent, gas, groceries, um, you know, stuff for work and all, like those are my expenses. It's pretty boring stuff. So there's not really anything to cut from that. So just kind of need to get more money and to increase my weekly and monthly income, which it looks like is happening, especially as I make more and more commissions. That will increase, how much I have in my budget to begin with. So, yeah. So, what else? I know there was more. I know there was more specific things. Yeah, I'm just trying to be a positive person. Guess I should probably have a mental health segment, right? It still is what it is. I have good days and bad days. But the thing is, with my work now, especially with solar, you just gotta suck it up. Like if you're having a bad day, that's not an excuse to not put your all into the job. So every day you gotta go out there and give it 100%. So, there are certain tools at my disposal that I can utilize to sort of, get me through. One of them is Kratom. Some of you are probably familiar with that, some aren't. So sometimes if I'm just not really feeling it when I get to field, which is what we call it, but when I get to like the neighborhood I'm going to be knocking in that day and it's time for me to like go, um, I'll pop some kratom. I'll take like 3 capsules, which is like 2.5 grams, and then that usually I don't know how to describe it. It like say boosts my mood, but not really in like an antidepressant kind of way. It just kind of like makes me like impartial enough that it like lowers the negativity, if that makes any sense. It sort of limits the impact of negative influences. So like if somebody's really rude to me at the door, I just kind of like, whatever, and I go to the next one, as opposed to like letting it really ruin my day. And it also just kind of like kratom just makes me more sociable and more just like conversational. It just kind of loosens me up, honestly. Like, whereas I may be feeling a little clunky or a little antisocial or whatever, like after kratom when I'm talking to people, I'm just like, "Hey, how you doing? Oh, that's great. Glad to hear that." Anyway, yeah, so I don't want to bother you. I just make it super quick. My name's Joshua. I'm just in your neighborhood. You may see me talking to your neighbors over there. Basically, what I'm doing is just kind of finding people that can qualify for, and I go into that, and it just like makes the pitch much more conversational. Whereas if I'm sober and like, I can kind of overthink it. So it just sort of helps to, just make it smoother. So I don't take kratom every day. Like for example, today I didn't, and I broke a record. I got 4. So I didn't need it today because I was already like feeling pretty good when I got to field, and then obviously I felt even better like as the day went on. So, but it's just sometimes maybe like once or twice a week, you know. I just kind of need that boost. Um, so kratom's one, caffeine is another. I find it's mostly just kind of something I'm dependent on at this point. Unfortunately, I didn't want to have to admit that, but I've tried on days when I don't really have a lot of caffeine. I just kind of have withdrawal symptoms the whole day, and it's not good. So I end up usually having to like buy coffee halfway through the day or something so I can make it through the rest of my shift. So I got to make sure I have enough coffee before I leave for work. Um, so kratom, caffeine, music is a big one too. There's a few songs in my rotation. Usually they're recently added, because it's like my current obsession. And there's a few old reliable ones too as well. But some certain songs that just kind of get me in the mood for it, to get me hyped. You know, I'll just kind of blast in my car right before I get to the field, or right when I get there if I have time. Um, yeah, good meal, good food, stuff like that. So there's things that I can utilize to increase my odds. So I kind of control. The days kind of go from neutral to super great. There's really no day in field where my mood is the reason that I don't get anything, because you're not really allowed to. With a job like this, you don't really have a choice. You have to work anyway. You have to put in your all, because if you don't, then you're just going to get fired. Because they can tell. So, we call it the PPA: pitch, pace, and attitude. So they're always monitoring those. The app that we use to mark the homes and take notes and stuff is tracking our location at all times. So they know where we are. They know if we're actually out knocking doors, or if we're, at a gas station or a restaurant or something nearby, taking a break, or if we're in our car taking a break. Like they can tell. They can tell how many doors you've knocked, how long it's been since the last door, so they're watching you out there. So you got to make sure you actually do the work. And then there's also, certain numbers you got to hit every week and every month to stay in the company. So you got to make sure you do that. And then everything above that you get commissions on, and the commissions get greater with every one. So that's the motivation to keep going. Um, but yeah, I like what I do though, because it helps people. I like that I'm helping people. I'm not scamming them. I'm not trying to sell them anything. I don't want to get in too much into the specifics of what I do, mainly because I already have to explain it so many times a day to people. I really don't want to talk about it outside of work. Um, but it's something. It's a government program So technically, by extension, I guess you can say I work for the government. But it's designed to help people save money without spending any money, and also save the environment in the process. So it's just something you can feel good about at the end of the day. Like today, those 4 households that I helped, and they thank me when I leave. They're like, "Oh, thank you so much for stopping by." I'm really, like all I did is set them the appointment, like set them up with someone who's actually going to help them. But at least, I'm the one that created that lead. That made first contact with them and let the call center know, hey, here's someone who qualifies and is interested, and we're looking for this day at this time. So, it's something good. It kind of counteracts the people that are rude, the people that, you know, don't want to hear what I have to say. Like, at least when you finally get one that's like, oh, thank you. Wow, yeah, that actually makes sense. It sounds like that'd be really cool. Can you really do that for me? Oh, that you can qualify me? Wow. All right. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Like that just makes me feel good. And it's a unique kind of feeling, especially given how difficult the job is, that the wins are really rewarding. It feels really good rather than just like, thanks. You give someone their, bacon eater combo. You know what I mean? Like it's a whole other level. So, yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything. So yeah, I don't have like out of control bad days anymore because I'm able to control them. On my days off, or if I don't have to work or whatever, I'll just kind of let it ride, but it's not really devastating to me because I find a way to channel that energy into something functional. So yeah, there's not really days that I like don't get anything done because I don't feel like it. Because that, like, at this point in my life, that just sounds like such a non-excuse. I can't believe that that's been an issue for me so much in the past. Especially given that, like, nothing's changed. I didn't cure anything. I'm still living with the same kind of miscellaneous mental challenges that I've always been. It's just my way of managing it. It has changed because it was forced to change. Like I can't let it get in the way of my life, achieving my goals, doing what I'm here to do, what I need to do, because it's nothing. There's no logical reason behind it. It's not it's not rational. So there's no room for that in my life. But obviously it's unrealistic to get rid of that altogether because it's a part of me and it's something I'm living with. So you just got to manage it. Don't try to eliminate it, just try to manage it. Take control over it because it's a mindset. Just take control of your mindset. Be in control of your own brain, what you're feeling, and more importantly, how you're reacting to that, what the ramifications are. So just don't let depression or anxiety or any of that stuff, don't let it run your life. Don't let it make decisions for you, because just remember that feeling is not rooted in logic or rationality. So that's kind of how I've been living, and so far it's been working for me. It's been getting me a lot of results. I am arguably the most successful now that I've been at any point in my life, and I attribute it largely to just me being in control of my own mindset at any given time, just having that mental strength to say, like, well, regardless of how I'm predisposed to feel on a given day, I'm not just gonna, let it compromise my performance at anything, because this is the time window assigned to this, and that's just that, and I'm gonna put my all into whatever I'm doing. So, you know, that's just what works for me. So, does anyone else struggling with that? Maybe it can be beneficial for you as well. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. Trying to think if there's anything else. I'll probably think of things as soon as I end this. That's all that's really coming to my mind as far as important updates, I guess. Um, yeah. So, all right. Until the next time I randomly do one of these. Yeah. Have a good night, everyone.